everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, passing may be at a premium, at least for one side. The 49ers are top 10 at defending the pass, and they'll be going up against the Raiders, who will need to solve that secondary. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth. So we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the home of Super Bowl 50, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Oakland Raiders and the San Francisco 49ers. First carry for Latavius Murray. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Now Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And Mr. Cooper, Amari, a headliner in this offensive unit.
Brandon, it's rare that you get guys so polished coming out of college, but Amari Cooper has carried himself like a pro probably since he was 6 years old. He is a terrific talent.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Here's Carr. He's got time. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw, and that is incomplete. Time to meet the defensive starters for the Oakland Raiders, and you want to discuss one of their safeties.
I certainly do. Carl Joseph out of West Virginia. Always did a great job policing the middle of the field. A big hitter, knocked the ball away, but really added to his game as last year as a Mountaineer. Became a better cover guy and a better ball hawk before he got injured. They're really going to love him in Oakland.
Josh Huff, the intended target, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Here's Jones. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take possession. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Carr on the bootleg. Backing up. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there. Carr to Cooper. 61 yards.
They went for the haymaker there, didn't they? A big shot towards the end zone, and they came up with the catch, but they were tackled short of the goal line. The defense escaped the big one there. Now they've got to try and hold them to a field goal attempt.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. And from the 3 now, it's 2nd and goal. They run with Murray. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
All right, here we go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
Jones on the return. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. Past the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. And don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Eli Harold in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Now Carr throwing on second down. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And he's able to put it through. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. Roughing the pass here, but Charles, that's a good call. But these days, you know quarterbacks, they're very protective.
We know how protected they are, and if it's anything borderline, they're going to get the call. But as a defender, that's hard to swallow sometimes because there's so many of these bang-bang plays.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football as they take over here 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to loft one deep left. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. A big play there for the Niners. 52 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Now let's go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When DeForest Buckner was at Oregon, for much of his career, the opposite defensive end from him was Eric Armstead. And everyone wondered about these 6'7" guys. Could they get the leverage? Could they get low enough to make plays in the run game? I think the question just got answered with that one. DeForest Buckner knows how to bend and shed blockers and get upfield.
And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They come out here in the eye. They go back to Murray on first down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers, and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football, you can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and it usually gives you an advantage in running it.
Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing on first down is Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Another pistol look here. That was second down run for Murray. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Here we go now.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And now it's third down.
Here we go now.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this.
We
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster. It all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Now on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Going to throw right side here. Complete. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Murray the lone setback. Throwing now is Carr. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Amari Cooper with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2.
3 down. All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now back to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting
a 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. And now here come the Raiders. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. And we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you across the country to Orlando, standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be a second down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
We got three, fellas. We got three. Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Caught. It's Huff. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football and taking it right down Broadway. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this one is incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Taking it about the 16. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Hey, we're gonna rally. Rally. You got tight right there.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and get the running game going here with Murray. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, with that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Now Carr, and he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They go with Murray again. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
DeForest Buckner is a really tall defensive end / defensive tackle. How about that move right there to get upfield and make the play in the offensive backfield? Excellent leverage.
You're right. Tall, big, 6'7", nearly 300 pounds. Now they'll throw with Carr. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Throwing his Carr on third down. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. On now is the field goal team here as the Raiders will try for 3. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player.
And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Complete. Richardson has it. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's got daylight. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a reception made by Dante Moncrief. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And he couldn't corral it. It falls down incomplete, but maybe not a big deal given this big lead. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And now the 49er offense ready to go and getting back out onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
They'll set up a throw. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Surveying the field. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And it's 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to Talk to your other coverage guys and let them know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when
And now here's another interception. Picked off by David Anderson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Again, it's Murray. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Throwing his car on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
Let's go.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding third and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
No. Check. Patriot. Boom, landed. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And man, the tight end Rodgers. Give him 6 on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Back to throw now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now in desperation. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. The The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Raiders, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they will head home next week to take on the San Diego Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Niners, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3.